live. Oh my. Y'all, I've been talking for how long? Hey, Leilani. Oh my, yes, come. Yes, come on. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I have been, somebody look at the timer. How long have I been talking? And I hit go live on StreamYard and it never went live. Well, no wonder nobody was commenting. They didn't know. I'm like, oh my goodness. Okay, guys. So come on in. Somebody else did this. Hey. So I cannot believe this. Somebody tell me how long I've been live on Instagram, because I've literally just gone live on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Oh my goodness. What to do? Well, some of you are just coming in, so make sure you're dropping your comments. 1 to 10, how has your day been? 1 being meh, 10 being whoop whoop. I was telling the group that was in here earlier that I was doing a tryout with an organization that I really wanted to kind of connect with. I thought it was a great opportunity, but I just wasn't on my A game. I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. I wasn't on my A game today, and so I just got the message that I wasn't selected for their team. But by that same token, I just closed a contract with another organization that I'll be doing some facilitating with. So 9.5, yay! Okay, so you've been here for 10 minutes. I think I've been talking for 28 minutes. Hey, Facebook. Hey, LinkedIn. Hey, YouTube. I am so sorry. I just pushed the button, guys. So if you want to see the beginning of this live, because I'm talking to Instagram over here and I'm talking to you all over here, drop some comments, because I'm gonna catch you guys up. I might actually go off of Instagram and then continue talking over here. Oh my goodness. Well, you know what? These things do happen. Hey, Dino Gomez in the house over on Facebook. That is my program creation coach, as well as my really good friend. He does amazing work, guys. You should check him out as well. Does some amazing digital marketing. Leilani's here. Now, what do you want me to call you? Because she does many things and they are all fantastic. She knows digital marketing. She's a coach. She's just a dynamic human. And then, of course, Ricky's here. I've got all like the coaches, like, come on, this is like a coach's colloquy. That used to be one of my favorite words. Anyway, so like I was saying before, everyone has a brand. All right. Everyone has a brand. And so if the people pleasing has been a part of your brand, if you've ever been a people pleaser in your life, that has become a part of your brand. And so a lot of times people will tell me, Stephanie, I stopped people pleasing. And I'm like, yeah, congratulations. But what we have to be mindful of is that though we stop people pleasing in our personal life, we probably are going to keep people pleasing in our business life, because no one's holding you accountable. When I made this slight pivot into this space, because again, I have 20 to 30 years of marketing experience. So when I made this slight pivot to start supporting recovering people pleasers in business, not just in just the stopping of the people pleasing and supporting them in that, it was really a slight pivot, because what I wanted to make sure of is that those who are recovering people pleasers, who are launching ventures, who are coaching people, who are opening up their new businesses or reopening their businesses or whatever. Oh, okay. Dino has questions over here, guys. I'm going to get to them. Those are good questions. Yes. I think they needed to be supported, because I would have loved to have been supported in my people pleasing seasons. Like, I would have loved to have been supported and had somebody hold me accountable to doing and being what I said I wanted to do and be. Now, that didn't stop me from having some really amazing success, having an award-winning marketing agency, working with celebrities, doing celebrity events, working with brands like Wrigley and DeVry and Music World Music, which is the home of Destiny's Child. Maybe it's a little group. Maybe you've heard of them. It didn't stop that, but what it did stop was me being able to sustain myself regularly. It did stop me from attracting in people that wanted to use my talents and me not advocate against it. Like, I was on the greater later train. Okay. So Dino has questions I want to get to. You guys are so awesome. How do we brand ourselves? Well, that's a really interesting question, because we brand ourselves without knowing it. Just in our personal lives, because the way that we show up consistently creates the expectation. And of course, branding is about expectation. So the same thing in our business life or in our professional lives, the way we show up, which means we have to be mindful. We have to be mindful of what we're calling ourselves, in whatever space. I hear a lot of people say, I'm a giver, I'm a giver, I'm a giver. Stop saying that, because inherently what you're saying is that I give and I don't receive. It's almost like you're shutting down the part of you that is supposed to receive, which is creating imbalance. And you know what I tell you, where imbalance is present, abundance is fleeting and disease is inevitable, and we want none of that. So when we decide to take control of our brand, to actualize and acknowledge our brand, that changes everything, because then that means we're being consistent in the way that we want to be consistent, not in the way that we're expected to be consistent. Does that make sense? Because when your personal brand, when your business brand, anytime brand is left unactualized, hello, quick draw phlebotomy school. Anytime a brand is left unactualized, 1 to 10, tell me how your day's been. That means that other people are dictating what you're supposed to do. And if you've got that people pleasing mindset, okay. I love that. Big breakthroughs happening. All right. So if you've got that people pleasing mindset, then people are dictating to you how you should be consistent, which means your consistency is creating expectation, which is branding you, period. Now, how that relates to business is if you say you're a luxury brand, then you've got to act like it. Can't be luxury and affordable. Yes, I know there's such thing as affordable luxury, but you will notice when luxury brands develop an affordable arm, one, they have dominated the market share in that luxury brand. Think about Michael Kors. That comes to mind first. Now, you can go to TJ Maxx or Ross or whatever at Marshall's and probably get a Michael by Michael Kors bag. I think that's his what do you call it? Second tier brand. Okay, that's his more accessible brand, his more affordable brand, right? So those bags are not at the same price point. It's kind of like you've got Marriott and then Courtyard by Marriott, and then you got JW Marriott's. It is not uncommon, right? The problem comes when you're offering Louis Vuitton, but your branding is Walmart. Those two are not going to meet. They're not going to meet. Most of the time, if you say something is going to be luxury, then we are programmed in our human brains that it's not going to be quote unquote affordable. In fact, when I was teaching marketing, there was this exercise, case study about a glue that said, oh, we can help you fix your china, your bone china, your most expensive china. And they went into the marketplace at a price point of I think $2, maybe a crazy glue price point. And so your marketing was luxury, but your branding was not. Because if you can do that, right? If you can do all this and fix bone china and make sure that, there's no seam, and you can do all this amazing stuff. Thank you. Y'all, and I'm live in 4 places right now. So that's why I keep doing this and this and this and this, which is kind of fun. So and I lost my whole train of thought. So, okay. So they had this low price point, right? And so the luxury buyer didn't believe them. So they raised the price point to, I think, $9.99 for glue. And people started to buy. It made the marketing believable when the brand was in sync. And I don't mean buy. Get it? Tell me about the breakthrough, Dino. I want to know. Ooh, how do we attract high ticket buyers? Well, first of all, you've got to decide if that's what you want to attract. In the coaching space, and I've said this before, I didn't start, hey, Allison McFarland, I didn't start hearing terms like high ticket buyers until I started hanging around with other coaches, right? And so if you want to attract high ticket buyers, be it if you're a coach, if you have a product or whatever, you have to decide who is that high ticket buyer. See, a high ticket buyer is not enough of a target audience, or as some people call it, avatar. I'm an old school marketer, target audiences, target demographics. That's what we do here. So it's not enough for you to target. Does that make sense? It's kind of like saying, I serve wealthy people. Well, what kind of wealthy people? What demographic? How are they wealthy? Are they generationally wealthy or are they nouveau riche? How did they get their wealth? What do they do in their spare time? Are they a recluse? See, there are these things called psychographics and demographics that people love to ignore. They really do. In fact, I'm going to be honest with you, being in the coaching space, one thing I know for certain is that yeah, a lot of coaches have no idea how to market. They are literally flying by the seat of their pants. And the ones that do, you can tell. Like I could start to call names of people I know. They know marketing, they know branding, and it's evident in how they show up in their visuals and how they show up in general. Okay, hold on. So, yes. Oh, thank you, Dino. Thank you so much. You know, you inspired me. I want to give you your flowers while you're here. Dino, you got to have friends that'll hold space for you. And he held space for me the other day and we just talked. And yeah, I'm just, it just really it really inspired me. And so I want to thank you because you definitely a true friend. I really appreciate you. So, okay, let's see. How do we attract high ticket buyers? And then the other question, when do we create a secondary brand? When the primary brand is doing its thing and you see the demand. Okay. When you see demand shift, then you can do that. Although sometimes, remember, marketing is pragmatic, strategic, and energetic. So sometimes you just might feel it. You know, when I did the healing firm, what had happened within me is that I had evolved. And I thought that, you know what, you got the relationship firm, it's good. You know, we've got 10 years of brand equity. You can Google it. It's got Yelp reviews. It even has bad Yelp reviews. Yeah, it happens. But you can learn from that, right? You can absolutely learn that sometimes you shouldn't take certain people as clients because some people don't want help. They just want to be mad, but that's okay. And so when the launching of the healing firm happened, it wasn't like I sat down and was like, okay, you know, what's the next thing? It was kind of like, I am obsessed with the construct of healing. I have learned things that I think would be awesome to share with people. And so I started sharing. And so that's where we got the healing firm. And then of course there's a launching firm, but the launching firm is by invitation only. So thank you so much, Dino, for hanging out. I'm like, okay, y'all, what happened? I have to put this face up. You guys are so amazing. Somebody said I'm watching you on the Book of Faces. All right, this is my buddy, Allison McFarland. Yes, I only get to see you on LinkedIn. So sending you love, my dear. So so I could have very well just said, okay, well, I'm going to do branding and marketing in general, right? But the reason why I drilled into the recovering people pleaser is because that's who I've been supporting all this time, because I too am a recovering people pleaser. And I know what it looks like to run businesses out of that space. I know what it's like to run businesses into the ground out of that space. I know what it's like to not advocate for yourself. I know what it's like to say, let me tell y'all what I said one time. I could get 10 clients to pay me $500 a month for marketing. Okay. And y'all, I'll tell you the truth. The first time somebody made a 5-figure cash payment to me, I almost passed out. I got like a nanosecond, a weak in the knees. And then I was like, this is where you should have been all along. That's Stephanie. But you know, I can't even chastise myself, honestly, because you only operate at your own level of understanding, right? That's what you do. You operate at your own level of understanding. And so I was caught up in what most people pleasers do, which is trying to be liked, loved, and accepted. And so that was coming through in my business practices. I was reckless with my business practices in terms of making sure that I could sustain myself regularly, making sure that I was making the best determination about what clients I wanted to work with. Some of you have heard the story that to this day, there's someone that owes me $8,000. Why do they owe me $8,000? Because I thought they were a friend. I'm still in my people pleasing season. And so I let my guard down, only to learn that not only were they a friend, but they were relatively duplicitous in just about everything. And so that left me with an $8,000 debt. I'll never see that money, but I'll always tell that story. I will always tell that story because I need you to know I didn't just pick this up because it sounded good. Ooh, I think I'm going to help recovering people please with market and brand. No, this picked me up. Literally, it as I watched my clients evolve, I was like, this feels like. In fact, I was actually in it before I realized I was in it because I never stopped. I just stopped talking about it publicly a lot, but I never stopped marketing and branding. I never stopped. And so that's why I'm super excited about this branding incubator that we're launching on Tuesday. That is the day after Labor Day. I want you to come spend some time with me. And literally, the pricing is so accessible. It is $97 a month, or you can make a paid in full payment. But I'm going to be like giving you the kitchen sink. And I'm not just going to be giving you branding and marketing strategy. I don't believe that there's a cookie cutter strategy, but I do believe that there are some things that you want to do, and when you have a brand that supports you, you can just expand. You can just expand your root system and you just grow the biggest tree. Some people out here planting new trees trying to make a forest, and that gets to be a little bit cumbersome. But I'm like, let's grow you a really big tree with lots of plants and lots of branches. All right? Let's do that. Hey, SC, what's going on? How are you? I want to get to all these comments. You guys are being awesome. I mean, I did say it. I did say that out loud. Coaches don't know what they're doing. A lot of them don't. I know you speak marketing fluently. I do too. There's a lot of marketing coaches that don't understand marketing. I said it out loud because at the end of the day, I part of who I am in my branding is that I'm very clear. I don't want to hurt your feelings. I might trigger you because if I don't trigger you, how you gonna feel fun? But I don't want to. I don't want to lie to you. I think one of the worst things that some coaches do is that they let their clients walk off the edge of the cliff and say, "Oh, I hope they'll be okay. Do you feel like me?" Versus I'm going to be like, "Hey, that's a cliff. I prefer you not go over. Are you in alignment with me? Okay, so if we're not going to go over the cliff, this might be what we need to do, and let's pull it back." I think there's too much. Somebody says now I'm watching you on the Book of Faces. Well, awesome. Drop your comments. I see I've got many comments. Many comments. So I'm so excited. I love that Dino's in the house. I love it. Ooh. Yeah, see, that hurts. You know, 21,000 to an influencer, like seriously. And I think one of the best things you told me the other day, Dino, one of the best things that you told me the other day was that, you started a program with one person. I hope that's okay for me to say. And if it's not, I apologize. But that was really affirming for me because, in coaching, and a lot of times coaching is not a real world, but in coaching, people love to say like, "Oh, I had a 6-figure launch and I had this and I had that." And, sometimes it sets the standard that you need to have a lot of people in your program. And I was like, I actually like smaller programs, and with this one, I've done some pricing restructuring because some people wanted to get in and I wanted them to have it. So they're going to get it. All right. So if you want it, $97 a month or a one-time payment of $555, that's it. And we're going to spend at least 3 months together and you're going to get all of my stuff. Like whatever I can think of, I'm going to be throwing it at you. It's going to have an exclusive Facebook community. I would love for you to join us. If that's of interest to you, put RRR in the comment, like reach revenue results, or you can go over to bit.ly, y'all know bit.ly, /RRR Steph. And since that is case sensitive, just put RRR in the comments and I'll make sure that you get it. But like I said, I just started being live over here. I'm going to bid Instagram a fond farewell. Love you. And I'm just going to talk to you guys. Give me 1 second. My name is Stephanie D. McKenzie. In case you catch this on the replay, speaker, teacher, author, and coach. Thank you guys so much for loving and learning and branding and doing all the things with me. Okay, bye, Instagram. Now, let's get back over here. All right, so back over here, because if you missed it earlier, I was live on Instagram. I thought I was live over here. I hit go live, but it never went live. So shocker. So here we are all together now. So let's see. I thought I saw another question. I did. I just dropped the details. They're underneath, but definitely if you're interested in the incubator, It starts next Tuesday. It's called Reach Revenue and Results. Okay. And results are not always money, but you know what? I want to see people get paid. And I know that people keep talking about, oh, it's not about the money. Listen, we live in a capitalist society. You cannot pay for anything with your good looks. So we're going to have to generate revenue. And I firmly believe that economic well-being, which is a Rachel Rogers term, is something that you deserve. And so I want you to have it. And what I know is that a beautiful way for you to get it is to have branding and marketing and to be standing in alignment and embodying your brand. Because when I talk about embodying your brand, I'm talking about building something that is legacy level. I'm not talking about a new logo. I'm not talking about a new website. Yeah, we'll get to all of that, and that's fine, right? But I'm talking about legacy level behavior. I'm talking about building something that you can give to your children and your children's children. Like, this is so much deeper than a logo and a website. And that's what I've been trying to say, and some people may not like the delivery of it, but I'm just going to tell you, your brand, your personal brand, your business brand is being reflected in who you are attracting. Now, let me say this. I have been in a season, I'm going to be transparent. I've been in a season where I've attracted people in that were not ready for me. And if you saw my post on Facebook, I did a whole post about it because I think I hadn't truly embraced this nano pivot, right? And so I was attracting in those people. And I'm like, sometimes that will happen. I don't care how good your brand and your marketing is. You will attract in scammers, charlatans, people who aren't ready. However, there's one thing. Hi, James Martin, the second. There's a difference in having a momentary flare up versus a chronic condition. For me, all things boil down to being acute or being chronic. And so if you're chronically attracting people that don't want to pay you, if you're chronically attracting people who think what you're giving to them should be free, like they don't even ask if they could pay you. Do you know how many conversations I've had where I've said, hey, you might have to invoice me for this? Right now I need to have a conversation with someone and I know there's going to be a dollar amount attached to that. And I'm completely mindful so that when I'm ready, I'm just going to go back to them and say, okay, here's your money. Let's talk. But if you're chronically attracting people that say, oh my God, that's great. Maybe later. Then that's a lot of time the energetics of your brand and your marketing. That's a lot of times something being reflected back to you. And I'm not blaming you. I'm not shaming you. I'm saying in my case, let me talk about me. In my case, those things were happening to reflect back to me something that I needed to deal with. And so I did it. Again, I'm going to say it. This is not about logos. This is about legacies. I want to work with individuals, companies, small companies, startups, people, professionals that understand that, you know what, I deserve more. Like, I absolutely deserve more. And I know it. And, I've tried to get it, but, as some people say, the math ain't mathing. And I want some help. One of the most powerful things that we can do, although it's often vilified, is to ask for help. But oftentimes we won't do it, especially if you've been a people pleaser. The idea of, first of all, asking for help, deciding that you need help, or thinking that you can afford the help are the first things that come into your mind. And one of the things that I have truly encouraged us to do, us as a collective of humans and whatever else you decide that you are, is that stop saying you can't afford it and start looking for how you can afford it. If you know that you've been able to give people hundreds of thousands of dollars in your lifetime just because they ask, but then when it comes to something that you need, you're like, well, I don't know. That is a telltale sign that you're not investing in yourself. That means you haven't deemed yourself a worthy investment. And guess who else won't deem you a worthy investment? It's energy. The energetics matter. Now, I'm not saying you have to go out and get a $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, coaching program. I'm saying, or go get a, $50,000 a month consultant. If you want to, you absolutely can. What I'm saying is that when you don't take the time to invest your time, talent, treasure, and pleasure into yourself, but you constantly give all of that to others, it creates a dynamic where you have now deemed yourself unworthy, which means it makes it so easy for others to deem you unworthy because it's an energy. It may happen acutely, but if this is a chronic condition, then we can do something about it. I'm going to encourage you to come to Reach Revenue and Results for $97 a month. Super accessible. Or get on my calendar, talk.stephisms.com. If you have greater goals for your team or yourself or your family or whatever, your relationship, let's talk about it, because branding impacts everything, because everyone has a brand. So anyway, are there any questions I can answer? I would love to. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. This has been amazing. I hadn't tried to go live in all of these places. So I'm currently on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, and I concluded the live that was on Instagram because they got it first. So nevertheless, if you have any questions, please drop your questions. If you're interested in the incubator, drop RRR or R3 or 3R or whatever. You can put 3LW in there. I don't really care. But if you want to spend some time with me, come spend some time with me. Come brand with me. Come fly with me. Come do all the things, because I plan to give you everything. And I've been a coach for the last, I think, 11 or 12 years. I've been in marketing for 20 to 30. And I just got my certification in digital marketing. So, and I already knew some, but I know more now. So I'm like, I want to help you find a way that helps you expand. If you want to expand, help you launch. If you want to launch, I just want to support you, because what I'm excited about is your success. You getting the results that you want, no matter what they are. You being able to build something that is legacy level, you can pass on to your children, your children's children, and you seeing those outcomes. Because listen, something happens to us when we win. Like something changes within us. It changes our brain. It changes the way that we're wired when we start winning. And some of you know you've been overdue for a win, and I want to help you get it, right? And I'm not saying that you can't get it without me. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that if you give me the privilege of helping you get your next win, I'm going to be super excited and super grateful. So, like I said, the program starts on Tuesday. It's called Reach Revenue and Results. Drop a RRR in the comments. Those of you who catch this on the replay, you can do the same. With that, I think I'll get out of here. My name is Stephanie D. McKenzie. I'm a speaker, teacher, author, and coach, here to remind you to always be your own superhero and to embody your brand. And let me thank you all so much for loving, learning, branding, unlearning, all the things. Thank you for doing all that with me. Have a beautiful night.